Hey, this is Abraham with the Gov Genie's channel. Welcome to another episode of Tuesday Tips. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you how to find government contractor opportunities, how to find forecaster opportunities, and how to use a software to help you manage your whole pipeline by searching for opportunities, finding teaming partners, and managing your proposal all on one software. I will see you on the inside. I'm going to talk about three areas of awards or contracts. One is I'm going to show you how to find past awards. I'm going to show you how to find current opportunities. And I'm going to show you how to find future opportunities. These are some links. For most of you, the key thing you want to look at is USA Spending. That's the main website you want to use. And we'll look at that in a second. The other ones are great too, but they're more niche. These are different ways of how you find present opportunities. So past award, if you find who's winning contracts, you can tell that that agency awarded $50 billion last year in janitorial. Well, if you're a janitorial company, then you know you want to do business with that agency, right? You can predict the future by knowing the past. So that's why you need to know the past. The current opportunities or present opportunities, there's many, many different places of where you can find opportunities. We'll look at some of these here in a second. A few of these links are no longer active, but most of them are still active. And then there are some paid services, and we'll look at one example in a second. And then future opportunities, right? Future opportunities. The government through regulation says that every agency must have a forecast made available so that small businesses can understand what's coming up. And the challenge with this here is, as a small business, you don't understand the procurement process. You don't understand that it takes 12 months to do a purchase full life cycle. And so you don't know that. Well, large company, they understand that it's capture management. It's a long life cycle. And so Congress says, okay, how do we help small business? We need to pass a regulation that says that small businesses should be able to have a forecast from any agency so they can see what's coming up. And so the best way to find forecasts is just to go to Google, put in the agency name, and put the word forecast and put the number year into it. So for example, GSA forecast 2023. There's a lot of 2023 forecasts now because we are towards the end of 22 fiscal year already. 10 points. What is the last day of the federal fiscal year? Last day.
Camp Sherman got it up first.
Go ahead, Sherman.
End of October, October 31st.
Wrong, but good guess, close.
Can I go?
Go ahead, Baldo.
September 30th.
Yes, September 30th is the last day of the fiscal year for the federal government. Ooh, let's try one that most people don't usually know. The last day for most state agencies, their fiscal year. Federal is September 30th. What are most states' fiscal year? What's their last day?
Patricia.
Go ahead.
Is it June 30th?
Yep.
Ooh, good answer. I love that. Yes, June 30th. So most states go by that. Now, there are a few states that use September 30th, and there's one state that uses like April 30th and a few funky ones, but about 5 or 6 of them use a very odd date, but most of them, they use June 30th as the final day. So they celebrate the new year, July 1st at the state level. At the federal level, we celebrate our new year on October 1st. These are different places of how you find forecasts. And so at this point here, let's do a quick live demo of a few things that we've covered here. So I'll start from the bottom and work my way back up. So if I want to find forecasts, there's a few ways to do that. One way is I'm going to take this link here. This is one way. And I'm going to go to a website. I'm going to go here. Oh, didn't copy. Go back. And I'm going to put this link in here, and I'm going to go to acquisition.gov/procurement forecast. And this is the easiest way to get there, right? So I go to which agency that I'm interested in. Is it Department of Agriculture, Department of Commerce? Many of these here have sub agencies. So this is just the main big agency here. Let's assume you want to go to Department of Justice. You want to do work for the Bureau of Prison, and you want to sell frozen chicken breasts to the prison. And so you want to go here. And so, well, to do that, you click on this procurement forecast here. And then you go to the Department of Justice, and then they tell you how to do it. So they don't have the 2023 yet, but you can see right here that they have it in PDF and Excel. And the 2022, even though the fiscal year is almost at the end, we've got a few days left, you can still look so that you can get an idea of what was spent last year, right? What type of new project came out and what was awarded and so forth. And so now it tells you, now I like the forecast because it gives you a range. Now, when you're finding an opportunity in SAM.gov or in Gov Genie or anything like that, the range is usually not given to you there because sometimes they withhold information when they actually put it out. They tell you when they're going to spend the money. So here they say, okay, we're going to spend it during this time frame here. And so it gives you an idea of when that money is going to be awarded. And they give you a range in 5 to 10 million here and so forth. Now, again, this is towards the end. So you're going to see some of these here already previously awarded already. But what you want to do is you want to look for the 2023, right? Now, if you only see the 2022 and probably in October, you'll see the 2023. Some agency already has put out the fiscal year 2023 forecast. Most agencies have not because right now they're trying to award contracts. For any reason, if you want to get a forecast and you can't find it online like this here, then what you want to do is you want to come to this doing business with the Department of Justice, right? Usually they have a small business contact, a subcontract, a DOG representative, right? So you want to find someone here and you want to reach out to somebody that works in the small business office. And you want to say, hey, I want to get small business representative. Okay, so I went here, right? And then this is where I want to click. Not the procurement offices, but I want to click small business representatives. Because these are the people that actually have access to the forecast for small businesses. So these are the small business representative here, and this is who I want to reach out to. If I want, ATF or if I want Bureau of Prison, DEA, depending on who, the email is right here. Valerie has got a little link to the email right here, and you want to email them and say, hey, I looked online and I went to your website. I couldn't find your forecast for 2023. Is it possible you can send me the link to it or send me the Excel sheet to your forecast? And most small business specialists, they know that it's required by law. But when you reach out to them, don't use that as a reason, right? I know that there's a law that you must give it to. Don't do that, right? Because that's not building a relationship, right? That's just being obnoxious and being a jerk. Say, hey, I really want to do business with Bureau of Prison, and I've researched, and we were great for some of the things that you guys are buying. You bought 50 billion tons of chicken breast last year, and we sell chicken breast, and we want to sell it to you. And so be like that, right? Try to convince them that you're a good match for them like that. And they will go. If they don't know, they will say, oh, you know what? Let me go find the forecast for you, right? And so be winning in relationship building. Don't be obnoxious to them. These are people just like you and I. And so you want to create a trusting relationship with them. All right, so that's one example of how to find forecasts. Hey, I want to take a minute to say thank you to our sponsors of the Gov Genie's channel here. And if you're watching this here, please visit our sponsors because they make it possible for us to do the Gov Genie's channel. Our first sponsor is Gov Genie. Gov Genie, stop wishing, start winning. Gov Genie is on a mission to democratize government contracting opportunities for small women and minority-owned businesses. Their objective is to change the disparities for small businesses in the $2 trillion government marketplace. Gov Genie is like LinkedIn for government contractors. It is a social CRM unifying the fragmented government procurement lifecycle and uses AI and ML to help users to socialize, foster relationships, find bids, search for teaming partners, manage proposals, source industry events, and facilitate the capture management process. This saves you, the user, money and time with one streamlined platform versus many other disparate software out there. Learn more about Gov Genie at govgenie.com. 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 Let's go to another area. Let's look at finding opportunities, and most of you know, but I will do a quick demo. The easiest way to find opportunities is go to SAM.gov, and some of you are registering here already as a vendor. Some of you have not. You do not need to be registered as a vendor to see the list of opportunities. When you go to SAM.gov and you come here, you want to click on contract opportunities. It was formerly FBO, is no longer FBO. If you type in FBO, it will still take you to this page here. So click on contract opportunities, and it's going to take you down here. And the first thing it's going to do is going to give you a little search bar here. And this is not that effective. So what you want to do is you want to click on advanced search. That is a little bit more, gives you more ability to fine tune your search. All right, 10 points. First person to type in your primary NAICS code. Type in your primary NAICS code. 10 points to the first person. Nobody knows the primary NAICS code? Oh, you guys know.
Ken and I have failed miserably.
we need to start from class 1 again.
I guess.
It's numbers, guys. Come on.
Okay, all right, Sandra, great job. All right, 561311. So I'm gonna take your NAICS code, and I'm just gonna do an easy search. Right now, I can go and do dates. I can do many other things, but for our exercise today, I'm just gonna put in your primary NAICS code here, and use that as put it here, hit enter, so that it will capture that, and it will automatically pull all of the opportunities here. And you want to do by update, you want to do by date here so that it gives you the date. Diversity High School Urban Alliance, intent to award sole source. Okay, so we talked about sole source, right? So this, Centers for Medical and Medicaid Services, they're going to award a sole source. So this, I guess, so this is not good for you because they're going to award to somebody. Now, some of these here, the dates already passed. So here's what we learn about your NAICS code. There's not a lot of opportunities that's available. If you look at this here, there's only one page, and it goes back to 2016, and there's only about 12 opportunities here. So something is either, we need to find out more of, we either need to use a different NAICS code that captures what you're trying to do more, or we need to use a different keyword that's going to capture your industry. Because for this one NAICS code, there's only about 10, 12 projects. So let me go to the next one. I'm gonna go to Patricia, 511430.
It's actually 611430. She was a typo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a typo. It's learning and development.
Okay. 611?
611430.
Okay. I'm going to take out this one here. So for this year, there's 525 projects that's been published in SAM.gov. So I can see that there's one that's due in about a week from now. So when, so part of your proposal writing process, the first thing when you find an opportunity, employment learning innovations, inclusion training. Not sure exactly what that is. NIMH Media Training Center. Okay, so this one's doing the 12. Looks like it's a real opportunity. I'm gonna click on this one. When you find an opportunity, the first thing you do is look at the due date. Before you read anything else, look at the due date. And if you look at the due date, it's due 6 days from now. And it came out just today. So if it came out today and is due in 6 days, you said, do I have enough time? But before you say no or yes, then you want to look at, okay, what is this here? Is this a RP? Is this a RQ? What is it? Well, we look at this here, it's a sources saw. Oh, okay. Sources saw, they're just doing a market study, right? Sources saw is an RFI, a market study, request for information. So, okay, yeah, six days is enough time to do a sources saw. Now, if it was an RFQ or RP, it's too short of a time. But sources saw usually about 5 to 10 pages only. They want your capability statement. They want maybe 3 past performance references. They want to know if you're women-owned, veteran-owned. They want you to know some very basic things. So you can do a sources saw response in one evening. And it's not, once you get to do it, now, the first time you do it, it might take you all 6 days. But once you get comfortable with it, it's just going to take you a few hours.
Hey, let's do 10 points. Why are PSC important? We talked about this before. You notice they have a NAICS code of 611430 down below the classification, but then also a NAICS code or also a PSC code. Tell me, somebody, 10 points. Tell me why PSC codes, how they're used and why they're important. Somebody raise your hand. Are you talking, Monique? Your lips are moving, but I don't see your hand's not raised. No. Okay, go ahead, Sandra.
I believe that the PSC codes are important because it's the ones that identify your products and your services and what you're selling.
Well, that's what the NAICS code does, though. So why do you need a PSC code?
Monique,
Go ahead, Curtis.
I just phoned you.
Isn't that the code they use to get so you can get paid?
Basically,
it's the code for products, correct?
no, products or services. So PSC, product or service code. So it could be a product or a service. Here's the deal. 611430 is pretty broad. That also happens to be my personal NAICS code. I've been using it for years and years. It is personnel employee development, basically. But then R499 is a subset. Remember, I was telling you about one of the clients that we've been coaching. They do metal fabrication. So they make lockers and different things like that. With it, or they also build big trailers. So if FEMA or the CIA needs a command trailer, they want a 40-foot trailer or a 53-foot trailer that can be pulled behind an 18-wheeler, and they want that to be a command trailer with computers and all of that stuff in it, all the electronics that they would need. The NAICS code of our client is 336214. That's their primary NAICS code. But that is actually the primary NAICS code for manufacturing and selling of those trailers. Their PSC code is K023. That's a company that modifies trailers. So a NAICS code tends to be pretty broad. In this case, it has to do with any personnel development. So almost any training outside of computers. 611420 is computers. But anything else, communications, leadership, hazmat training, all kinds of stuff falls into 611430. So R499 breaks it down more into this type of specific training. So it's important that when we tell you on your capability statement why you want your PSC codes is sometimes if you did metal fabrication, but you only did aluminum welding and you didn't do stainless steel welding, well, then it's important sometimes to understand your PSC codes. So when we say have your PSC codes on your capability statement, if there's an area of a NAICS code that you just absolutely don't do, then you might want to put your PSC code also.
Yep. All right. So once you you look at, okay, so this is a source of salt. I have enough time, right? So the first thing is, do you have enough time? Now, if you don't have enough time, let's assume that 6 days is enough time, is not enough time for you. What should you do? 10 points if you have a good answer. You want to respond, but you don't have enough time. What should you do?
Curtis, your hand is up. Are you asking a question or is that still up from before?
It's up from before.
Okay, Monique, go ahead and answer the question.
Computer's really slow. If you don't have enough time, would you email them?
And
say what? Good answer, but say what?
Just be like, hey,
What?
just, I don't know, introduce yourself, but I don't know, just email them.
All right, Shaq, what is it? What do you do? If the right answer is email them, but to say what though?
To request a debrief after 3 days and just talk about like, hey, we missed out on time, but I really want to know, I want to offer my business to you. What can I do next year?
Oh, that's incorrect answer for this question. If you submit a proposal and you don't win, a debrief is the right answer. But in this situation, it's just came out as a source of salt and you want to respond to it, but you think, man, I just got back from Labor Day. Is due. I got the weekend. I'm going to a wedding over the weekend. I only have like 2-3 days to respond to that. I need about 10 days and not 6 days.
Sherman, you had your hand up for a minute. You want to answer that?
I was going to say you send out your capability statement, kind of introducing your company and what you're capable of doing, and just kind of putting them on notice who you are and start getting your name out there to them.
No.
Okay, so I like that answer, but that's not the best answer. So let me, because of time, let me give you guys the best answer. So the best answer is due in 6 days, but you don't have enough time. What you want to do is you want to ask for an extension. Ask for an extension. So you email them, you email the contracting officer, because if you go down here to the very bottom here, there is a contracting officer, Cheryl A. Leon. And so you want to email Cheryl and say, hey, Cheryl, I really want to respond to this, Sarah, and your agency is the perfect match for this opportunity for us to do. But can you extend this here to, instead of the 12th, can you extend it to the 18th? And 50% of the time, they will extend it for you. And so when I have told people, that, hey, this is a good match, but it's too short, ask for an extension. Most of the time they will, I would say half the time they will do an extension. Now, if the contract officer said, no, I cannot do an extension, it could mean a few things. It could mean that they already have another company that they want to award this to. It could mean that they have just a tight deadline and they just can't do it because of, it's towards the end of the fiscal year. And so if they wait until September 18th, they may not have enough time to close out the opportunity by the 30th. So it could be many different reasons. But most of the time, if it's not towards the end of the fiscal year, they will most likely extend it for you. Now, when you ask for an extension, ask it very nicely and give them what date you want them to extend it to. Now, don't be ridiculous. Like, say, can you extend it to October 30th, right? Which is a month and a half from now. Don't do that. That's you're not being sensitive to the contracting officer also. Generally, if you ask for another 7 extra days, maybe 2 weeks, they might do it. But 5 days or so, 2 or 3 extra days, they will do that. If you ask for 2 weeks, they might not do it. 1 week, they probably won't likely do it. Now, here's the caveat to that, though. If you ask for an extension, make sure you submit a response, whether it's a source of salt response or whether it's a proposal. Make sure you submit a response. You lose credibility when you ask for an extension and you do not respond. They extend it just for you because you asked. So make sure you are prepared to write a proposal. Don't make excuses. If you ask for a extension, make sure you respond, or you probably, will have your name is dirt with that contracting officer. So that's what you want to do. Ask for an extension. Best answer. Then you want to read through all of this here. Educate people about mental health. Okay, we can do that. Ensure access to accurate, timely, engaging, research-based mental health information. Increase the use of mental health research tools to empower patients. And if this is what you do, if you do training, if you do mental health care, perfect opportunity. So you want to come in here and you want to say, okay, now you want to go and read the statement of work and all of this, this document. You want to go click on it, open it up as a Word doc, and when in a source of SAR, it's very simple. It's this is only 7 pages. So, in an RFQ, it might be 10, 20 pages. In an RFP, it might be 50 to 200 pages, right? It just depends. And that gives you a little bit of background information. That gives you the purpose, right? To provide media training for National Institute of Health Mental Health. Very clear and simple. And it gives you what they're looking for. And this is for 1 year, September 30th to September 29, 2023. So it's a 1 year of service. And then go into a little bit more detailed scope of work. And you read through this here, and if you say, you know what, we can do this here, then you respond. And they will tell you deliverables, submit course material, 3 business days prior to staff training. And they will tell you what's going to happen here. And there's going to be some reports that you have to do. You got to do some progress report. There's going to be some travel involved to maybe location. You want to have a key personnel that is an expert, in this field of training. And then your key person has to meet these minimum requirements. And so if you don't meet these minimum requirements, generally don't waste your time writing a response. Now, since this is a sources sought only, you may still write a response and then look for the person. You can say that they're probably going to ask for a resume. So you want to find, a resume of somebody and submit it along with this. And you don't have to use that person. You just need a resume of a person. And then there's a contingent to hire document that you can use along with this here. If you yourself is not the key personnel. And then if you go down here, usually they would tell you, in here, they will tell you what you need to submit. So this potentially could be an opportunity for some of you that do training in this field here. Let's go to lots of other stuff to cover. Another way to find opportunities is using a platform called Gov Genie. In fact, all of you who are in this course here, we extend Gov Genie to you as a beta user, free right now for all of you. And so when you come in here, you want to come in here and just go ahead and sign up. I'm already signed up, so I'm just going to click login. So Gov Genie is a full life cycle capture management tool. It's developed by GCA and our team, our partner, our software development partner. And so we designed this here because there's no such tool that currently exists in the market like this here. And we want to make it easy for all of you to access it. Just go to govgenie.com and just sign up. Right now it's free, and you get the free version up until so much capabilities. But for most of you, the free version is all you need at this point here. So what you want to do is you want to come in here and you want to go to opportunities. And then you want to put in your NAICS code. 611-430. And I'm going to check this here. I'm going to hit apply. All right, so there's about 1,000 opportunities in here. And this one is due on the 9th. This one's due on the 15th. This is with the VA. It's a solicitation. If I think I like this one, I'm going to click on this. And it's going to pop up with a summary of the opportunity here. And I'm going to read a little bit of the summary here. And they want to do, firm fixed price and assuming you see this here, some of these dates are off, right? That means they copy and paste from the last opportunity. And even though the response date is on the 15th, that means the contractor also made some mistake here. So automatically, they made some mistake. And so, but ignore that. You can email them a little bit more. But if you like this project, here's where this Gov Genie is a more powerful tool than any other tool out there. This magic button up here says add to bid board. Click on the add to bid board. And it's going to pull up all of the information and you want to click on add. So the VA, this is for Wiley Disk Assessment Tool. I just added here, so I'm going to close out of this here. So I'm going to go from my opportunity to my bid board now. I'm going to click on my bid board. My bid board is where I manage all of my opportunities. So I come here and the opportunity is down here. So I just added the disk assessment tool. So it shows up on the bottom of my list here. And I'm going to go ahead and drag this here to scoping. And when I drag it to scoping, it's going to allow me to create a bid decision matrix. And I'm going to show you a different type of bid decision matrix in a second, but this is already built into the software. And these are the same questions that you should ask yourself before you bid on something. So the first question is, can you meet the proposed due date? That's what I told you guys earlier, right? In this situation, it's due in about 7 days. And so we're going to score pretty low. Do we have the required past performance? Assuming we're really good at what we do, so I'm going to drag this here to like a 9. Are we known by the client? No, we just saw it, so we're not going to score high because the contractor have no idea who we are. What is your overall technical capability position? Yes, we can do this type of work. We're very capable. We've got better capability than anybody. We've done this for 25 years, so we might score like a 10 on this. Can you provide proof of qualified staff? They were, they looking for 10 years of experience, bachelor's degree. And if you have someone in-house that's super qualified, then score it as you need to. Do we need subcontractors? We have the key personnel, but we're going to need some subcontractors to travel to do some training. So we might score 6 here. And then what is the financial potential? Can we make money? Is it good for us long-term, short-term, and so forth? And so this one is for 1 year. So for small business, okay, so this is kind of like mid-level or so. Can we respond with a compelling proposal? Yes, we're kind of new, so maybe we're kind of like mid-level. Who are our competitors? We have no idea. We just found this opportunity, so we're going to score low. What is our pricing competitiveness? Can we be competitive when it comes to pricing? So this here might say, yeah, man, we're a small business, we got low overhead. We might score like, somewhere in the 7 to 8 or so forth. And then now it takes your total score down here and we score 57. I'm going to hit submit here. So for this project, what I just did was zoom back out a little so I can see. So it's in this here. I'm going to move it to the top so I can see. So it's in my scoping now. It's an opportunity. I'm scoping out. I want to bid on this here. Now I can actually click on it, look through the details. Automatically, it captures the contracting officer's name, email, phone number. Now, sometimes they don't provide those, But if it does provide it, the system automatically capture that information. And let's assume that this project for 1 year, I'm going to say it is 500,000. So now I can start tracking my pipeline value here. And I can see, the information here. I can say, okay, this is a potential opportunities for me. Now what I want to do next is I said, you know what? I need a few subcontractors to help me. I have one person that can be the key person, but I need a few trainers. You want to go to menu, click on directory, go to NAICS, put in 611-430. Excuse me. And then I'm going to hit apply. Excuse me. Woo. All right. Okay, so now I say, okay, I'll find somebody that may be a good teaming partner. Mall Biomedical. Click on this company. Assuming I like them. And I go to their website. Okay, I like them. I'm going to add to my CRM. Phone number, email. If they have it in SAM, automatically add it. I'm going to hit add. Right now, it doesn't take dashes. So if there's dashes, you need to take that out. I'm going to hit add. It's a Mall Biomedical. I go to my CRM. Right here, it's been added to my CRM. I can view it in a list view. Steve Mall, I can view it in a tabular view where it breaks up. I've got 12 leads that I'm building a relationship with. I can view it in compound view, and I can kind of build a relationship with this person here. So it gives you the ability to find opportunities, to look for teaming partners, and to actually team with these people. Let's assume Steve Mall, I meet with them and I nurture the relationship, and then they agree. I win this relationship. Win means that they decide to team with me. I win this person over. We're gonna be teaming partners. So now I wanna come back in here. I'm gonna go to teaming portal, and I'm gonna create a new team. And I'm gonna put in here the Steve A team. Right, I'm going to create this. I'm going to add their company name, but for this here, because it's not a real team, I'm not going to add them. I'm going to use this test here as an example. So thank you, sweetie. So I'm going to go back to my bid board. I'm going to go to this project here, DISC assessment tool. This is the project that I want to work with that teaming partner. So I come down here and I go to team. Right here it says none. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to add a teaming partner. I'm going to use my test. Where's my test? Right here. And I'm going to update. So now what I did was I just shared this opportunity with this company, and they can see it now. Now they have to register to be in the system, but so now I can see them, they can see the opportunity, I can see this opportunity. So that's what we just done here. So if I go to my bid board, they can see this project. They cannot see all my other opportunities. They can only see the one I share with them. So that's the beautiful thing about this. They won't be able to see all my other ones. They can see this one or anyone else any other project I share with them. So if I come back to it, now I can start writing my proposal. And Ken, this is where we were talking about earlier. So under proposal, well, there's one other thing. In my teaming portal with this team here, I can put all my documents in here. So I can add all my documents with my teaming partner in here. So that's one way to do it. But what I want to do is I want to in my bid board here, I want to start writing proposal. And so in my proposal document, because we're talking about proposal writing, so this is how you manage the proposal process. I'm going to need a technical proposal. I'm going to need my pricing proposal. So if I click on pricing proposal, then I'm going to put in we recommend using Google Documents. And so, so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go and find my pricing proposal template. And next week, we're going to train on how to create your pricing strategy around proposal. So I'm going to take this document and I'm going to put it into my link here. And I'm going to hit insert. So what I just did here is with my teaming partner, I just share this pricing proposal with them. I can go here. I say, okay, now I want to add my technical proposal. So I'm going to use a Google Doc. I'm going to find my template. So this is my template for technical proposal. So I'm going to take this link here and I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to click on proposal document specific to this project here. And I'm going to go to my technical proposal. Where is it? Right here. And I'm going to put this link in here. Hit insert. So when my teaming partner, we're going to write a proposal together. We can, if they want to help write the technical proposal, they can just click on this link and it's going to take them to the technical proposal and we can just start writing in here. So in this situation, I would change it instead of ABC consultant, I would do a find and replace and I'm going to change it to I'm going to change it to Abe and Steve team and so forth and so forth. So that's how you use Gov Genie. Very powerful tool. You can do your pricing together. So you can come in here and you say, okay, for this here, we instead of software developers, we need mental health trainer or whatever, right? So you can kind of change it here. We need 10 of those. And you can put in the hours and so forth here. The hours could be 1912 or 2080. But if this is a government project, 1912 is generally the full-time person. 1560 is just a part-time person. So now, why 1912? In terms of 1912 is considered FTE. The government calls this their FTE or full-time equivalent. But why 1912? Best answer, 10 points. Why not 2,080 hours? 52 weeks times 40 hours comes out to 2,080 hours for the year. But the government, you can't build the government for 2,080 hours. They say you can only build them 1912, 1,912 hours. Why is that? Any good guesses? Okay, so I don't see any hand. The answer is in the government at the federal level, you cannot bill the government for 2 weeks vacation because your employees they assume you're going to give 2 weeks vacation to your employees. So you cannot bill the government while your employees are not working for the government. So that's why 2 weeks is gone. That's 80 hours. How many federal holidays? 10 points. If you know how many federal holidays. How many official federal holidays? Okay, Alicia?
I think it's 11.
Good answer, 11 federal holidays. So 11 times 8-hour day, that's 88 hours. So if you take 2,080 hours minus 80, minus 88 hours, you get to 1912. So that's how you build the government. So for those of you that provide services, whether it's consulting services, whether it's janitorial services, whether it's a trainer, if they want you to have a full-time person training them for a whole year, then you need to, generally, you can only build the government for 1912. And we'll talk more about this next week. But this is how you use Gov Genie. You put your documents here. Again, we recommend using, you could put a a Dropbox link in here too, if you want to do that. But you can't, your team and you can't work on that in real time. And so you're going to keep on adding more documents in. So that's why we recommend using Google Docs to manage all your proposals, to manage your technical, your pricing, all your stuff. And if it's not on this drop down, you hit other, and then you can type in whatever you want. So you could put in here key man insurance document. So let's assume the government wants you to provide key man insurance. And so you can put the link to your key man insurance document in there. So you use one tool to find opportunities, to manage your teaming partners, to search for other companies, and to manage your proposal on one place right here. So free right now for all of you. Sign up. If and when you use beyond the free version, then decide to upgrade at that point if you want to. But this is a powerful tool. All of you should sign up for this year because it may not always be free. So this is the time to sign up for it. It'll be grandfathered in at the free version.